Hi everyone, this is my lesson plan for my visual arts project, as well as it ties in with the science unit for 4th graders with the weather and learning about the water cycle. Students will make a mobile to hang up around the classroom that displays the water cycle from accumulation, evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. Today we have our standards displayed for the students on the board. They are develop and use models to explain how water changes as it moves between the atmosphere and Earth's surface during each phase of the water cycle. And for the art standard, I can use the elements and principles of art to create artwork. And our I can statement is I can explain the water cycle and all of the definitions of the vocab for the water cycle. So first, the students are going to watch a 8-minute video on the water cycle that I found on YouTube. I think it gives a great explanation for what the water cycle is, and it gives great visuals, as well as it shows how students can find the water cycle in their everyday life. So the students are going to watch this video, and then I'm going to regroup with them after.
Labracazam, where we make science make sense. Are you going to keep your hair like that all day, Zoe?
Nope. How's that?
Impressive.
So, where did all the water go?
The short answer is science. The short answer is sci. That's short for science. Noted. We know where the water came from. It rained. But now let's find out where it ended up. Izzy's instant drying machine uses heat and moving air to evaporate water from your clothes. Evaporate means to turn a liquid into a gas. Let's look at how evaporation works. Here we have a set of 3 black metal sheets. They're going to help us understand evaporation. Zoe, can you spray the same amount of water onto each one, please? Perfect. This first one we're going to leave at room temperature. The second one we're going to heat with this heat lamp like a warm day. Warm day coming up. And the third one, we're going to put the lamp on high power, like a really, really hot day. Really, really hot day coming up. The sheet with the higher temperature evaporated faster. That's right. This is why I put heaters in my drying machine.
I get it. The heat from the lamp makes the water turn from a liquid to a gas faster.
Exactly. Water in the gas form is called water vapor. Usually it's invisible, but I have a very interesting way to prove to you it's there. Let's break it down. Don't try this at home. I put water into the bottom of this steel barrel. That water is now boiling, and it's turning into a gas called water vapor. That water vapor is filling up the whole container, and because the top is open, it's displacing all of the air inside. Next, we're going to cap it off and cool it back down. This could be dangerous, so we're going to need some ear protection. Awesome. Okay, Zoe, you know what to do? Go ahead and turn off the heat. All right, Izzy, please give me a hand so we can put this into the ice. Let's watch what happens. That was awesome!
Wow, that was amazing.
I think you mean is amazing. The particles got closer and closer together as they turned from a gas into a liquid, and that made this barrel crush. When you pour a glass of ice-cold water, did you ever wonder why there's droplets that form on the outside of the glass?
I always figured it was because glasses don't wear deodorant.
Interesting theory, but it's actually condensation. Condensation is when a gas turns into a liquid. In this case, there's water vapor, which is a gas all around us in the air. and it's turning into a liquid and forming droplets on the glass. Now, What if we try the same thing, but this time with a cold and dry mug? Perfect. Now we wait.
Is this going to take a while?
Not if we fast forward. So this evidence shows that the droplets are made from the air surrounding the mug. When water vapor in the air cools, it turns into water droplets. You can see it even better if I make a cloud.
You can make a cloud?
Yeah.
I could barely make a grilled cheese sandwich.
Bert, bring in the cloud machine.
And you meet me in the safety zone. I found your foot pump, Dr. Jeff.
Awesome. Now we can make a cloud. This is a regular soda bottle, and in here you can see water. I'm moving it like this so I can cover all the sides with water. Then I pour it out over here. Perfect. Now we're gonna pump air inside here and pressurize it. Izzy, go ahead and help me out.
You got it, Dr. Jeff.
Perfect. Now, take the bottle. Everyone has the exact same thing. It's got water vapor and it's pressurized. Let's release the pressure on 3. 1, 2, 3. Now that's a cloud. When the air from inside this bottle is released very quickly, it cools down. That makes the water vapor condense into tiny water droplets.
Just like what happens in clouds.
Labracazam. Let's take a deeper look at how evaporation and condensation work together. Question. How old would you say this water is?
A couple of days?
I don't know, a couple weeks?
Actually, that water is millions of years old. In fact, most of the Earth's water has been around for millions of years because it's part of what we call the water cycle.
You mean I just been drinking some old dusty dinosaur water?
Pretty much. The sun shines on water found in lakes, oceans, and on land too. The water evaporates and becomes water vapor in the air.
As it starts rising up in the atmosphere, some of it condenses onto the ground as dew. Some of it condenses close to the earth to form fog. But most of it rises up high in the atmosphere where it condenses into clouds.
Finally, tiny water drops grow bigger until they get so big that they fall back to the earth as precipitation, rain, snow, or hail. The cycle is constantly happening every day for millions of years.
I'm still not sure what all this has to do with my instant drying machine.
Yeah, I mean, not all that stuff happens here in the lab. Or does it?
Evaporation and condensation are happening all around us every day. This is a distillation apparatus, which is a great model of the water cycle.
When the water heats up, it turns into gas. And then it cools in the condenser and turns back into liquid?
Correct. This cycle can repeat over and over again, just like Earth's water cycle. For millions of years, in this never-ending cycle, water has evaporated and condensed over and over again.
Hey, let's dive into this a little deeper with some real-world science. The condensation of water forms clouds, which are made up of tiny water droplets that float around in the air. When the water droplets get big enough, they fall to the ground as rain. When it's cold, precipitation can also come from clouds in the form of snow. Snowflakes are made out of water crystals. Each snowflake is unique and beautiful. Precipitation also comes from the clouds as chunks of ice, which we call hail. Hail is usually smaller than the size of a pea, but sometimes it can be as large as the size of a ping pong ball. Don't worry, I do my own stunts. Bird, what happened to my hail?
Dr. Jeff used up all the ice in the experiment that crushed the barrel.
Oh, well, up for a game of ping pong?
Only if you want to get annihilated. Okay, that was a bit of a stretch.
Well, while we do that, let's keep things moving along with Zoe.
Alright, so now the students have just watched the video, and I'm going to have them put the different words they heard in the video on the board. So some of them could be water vapor, the water cycle, accumulation, condensation, evaporation, precipitation, and they will write those words on the board and we'll discuss them and what they mean. And then we will get into our Mobile lesson. So now you'll see in different clips the different things I used. You'll need glue, cotton balls, construction paper, crayons or markers or colored pencils, anything, and some string. And we're going to be making a Mobile, which is kind of big, but it shows the sun, your condensation up in the clouds, your accumulation down in like a body of water like a river or a lake, and then you're gonna make little evaporation droplets to show the water going up into the clouds, and then we're gonna show precipitation coming down. So you'll see in the different clips the different steps it took to make. Now I let the students go and cut out everything on their own, make it their own original. They could either make like snow or hail or rain for like the precipitation part. Anything to get them creative and do what they want to do. I obviously use rain droplets, but they could do whatever they want. And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have them come to me and to assemble like the rope and everything, but otherwise they did everything on their own and they got to be creative with this Mobile project that we'll get to hang up around the classroom. For this project, the students are gonna need blue strips of paper, construction paper. We're gonna need yellow construction paper to cut out the suns, cotton balls, glue, crayons, and some string. Assembled the project all together, taping each of the strips to the back, and for the top we did the same. Now we're gonna assemble the strings to make it into the Mobile portion with the sun and attach it to the back. Now the students will end the lesson by stating the I can statement, which is I can use the elements and principles of art to create artwork, and I can explain the water cycle and all of the definitions of the vocab for the water cycle. I also found a really great website, which is where the video was, and it's called GenerationGenius.com, and this website link will be put in the students' Classroom Dojo account so they can access this at home. There's some DIY activities as well as some material, and they have their vocabs that the students can use, and this will be great and there's even like a little exercise for an at-home water cycle activity, and this will be good for students to refresh their memory and take what they learned in the classroom and be able to do this at home with their families.